And our Rebound Indiana commitment also looks at the issues helping or hurting people who are trying to make a comeback from this pandemic.
And Lauren knew this morning kids in Indianapolis, some of them unable to connect to their virtual classroom through no fault of their own.
Whoa, yeah, bird.
Kiymani Russell is a big sister and a budding artist. Listen to the 9-year-old's philosophy on the meaning of art, her favorite subject.
Even if, like, you don't try to make the art beautiful, it turns out beautiful. And even if you do mess up, it's still beautiful.
I think you're beautiful.
Thank you.
I can say that.
The third grader at the Edison School of the Arts is keeping up with her academics through paper packets. She can't do any of the work online. She has no access to internet service because of a past due cable bill with Spectrum. Her mother has faced tough financial times and says she may owe about $1,000. Her pleas for help, she says, fell on deaf ears.
Have you called them? What have you said?
Yes, I have.
Well,
I have called them and I have let them know, like, hey, can y'all like waive this balance just for, you know, until everybody is able to get back working, so, you know, she can have this internet access to get her schoolwork done. No, I was actually told by one of them in the billing department that they're not going to do it. They want their money.
The advocacy group Stand for Children is critical of Spectrum for not helping kids that, through no fault of their own, are disconnected from the internet during a time that schools statewide were forced to turn to e-learning due to the pandemic.
We're all in this together, and that's been the theme of these last several weeks. And while there are some companies, internet service providers, that are trying to do the right thing, I think there are a few, in this case Spectrum, that continue to hold a very hard line that are keeping families in need from being able to access the internet, which is just essential. Internet in this day and age is not a nice to have, it is a must have when it comes to the education of our kids.
Elvira Beltran's 4 children were also victims of an overdue cable bill. Luckily, an anonymous donor paid off her past due Spectrum bill of more than $267. But that was not enough. Stand for Children says her service was denied until the donor also paid an extra bill of more than $208 connected to her rental property. That removed the family's digital roadblock, connecting them once again to their online classrooms. So before the airing of the story, I shared with Spectrum's corporate office the names of the customers in the story and the details so that they could respond to the story. This is what we've received. A spokesperson tells RTV6 we don't comment on specific customer issues. That statement goes on to say that our position has not changed relative to our 60-day free internet offer for students and educators. Beyond that, we have extended that availability through June the 30th. Now, of course, I asked Ms. Nelson to call Spectrum before the airing of the story to see what would happen. Her request for service was denied yet again. Despite that statement, I am working with her to get other options. So I want to put this all in perspective. The decision to help people with past due bills was done voluntarily by some of the biggest utilities before the governor's executive order. IPL, for example, has kept the lights on for 33,000 customers with past due bills dating back to March the 14th. And Citizens Energy is helping nearly 13,000 customers with past due bills since March the 19th. All those people will be expected to repay those bills in the future in order to face possible disconnection. But in the meantime, those companies are working with those families.